So this is the second part of problem 2.3 from Thinking with Math Models. In the earlier lesson we talked about answering the questions and explaining the equation that was given, and now we're going to look at the graph and use the graph to answer the same questions that we earlier were able to calculate out using the equation. So if all we have is the graph in this case, and we have the equation that goes with the graph, the cost of renting canoes is 15 cents per minute plus the $2.50 charge that goes with renting the canoes for however long or however amount of time that you rent the canoes. So you can see that $2.50 charge right here in the y-intercept where this crosses the y-axis. That $2.50 shows up right there, and then it increases by 15 cents per minute as you go. So some of these will be pretty easy to figure out just using the graph. So if you look at the first question, what is the charge for renting a canoe for 30 minutes? Then if we go down to the graph and go down to 30 minutes and just go up to where the line crosses, you can see that right there is 30 minutes. And then if you go over, then that charge is $7, which is what we had calculated earlier, $7 for 30 minutes when we actually did the calculations in a previous example for this problem. That was our first one where we looked at 15 cents a minute times 30 minutes plus the $2.50 equal to $7. So could have found that on the graph just as well. And then if we look at the second question, which was for $8.50, how long did he use the canoe? So now again we can go back to our graph and just look at $8.50 is right here. Each increment here is a dollar, so $8, $9, so $8.50 would be here. If we work our way over right to this point where the graph lines up and then go down to the minutes, you'll see that it's 40 minutes for $8.50, which again is what we had calculated in an earlier example, earlier video. For $8.50, we worked backwards. 6 divided by the 0.15 cents per minute gave us the 40-minute fee. And then finally, the third question, if a customer has $10 to spend, and we want to know how much time they can have the canoes for, again, we go to the $10 and follow that all the way across to where it runs into the line, and then we go down. You can see that it's 50 minutes of time. So $10 right there, intersection with the line, 50 minutes. And again, that's what we calculated when we actually did the calculations for this problem. So using the graph in 2.3a, we can again answer those questions just following the line and using the intersections of the different points.